The movie starts out in 1989, and we are at the world-famous Domas mansion, the home of a wealthy board game industry family. Young ones Daniel and Alex are running around being chased by a man, and Daniel tells Alex to hide in a hall closet while he is approached by the man. The man is revealed to be their Aunt Helen's new husband, Charles, and he begs Daniel to help him as he is scared for his life. Daniel then calls out to the rest of his family to reveal Charles's location, and when the family finds them, Helen begs them not to kill Charles, but they ignore her pleas and kill him. We jump 30 years later where Alex is now all grown up, and he is about to marry to his fiancée Grace and become the most recent Domas. She knows that they are worth a ton of money, but that isn't the reason she is joining their family. She truly loves Alex and wants to spend her life with him. We meet a few of the other Domas family members as they are taking pictures before the wedding. Daniel, Alex's brother, is now grown and is married to his wife Charity, who, unlike Grace, married into the family for the wealth, not Daniel, and he is well aware. Their father is Tony, their mother Becky, and of course Aunt Helen, who keeps giving Grace the death stare for some reason. The ceremony happens a little bit later, and Grace is officially part of the family. A few hours later, Grace and Alex are about to consummate their marriage, but then Helen interrupts them and reminds Alex they have a tradition to adhere to. Alex explains to Grace that for every new member to the family, they gather for a game to play at midnight to make the addition permanent. Everyone gathers in a room downstairs, and we are introduced to Alex's sister, Emily, and her husband Fitch Bradley along with their two sons Georgie and Gabe. All the adults gather together to play their game, while the maid puts the two boys to sleep. Tony tells Grace how their board game tradition started, and they find it necessary considering their family heritage, and everyone has to go through it, just as Fitch and Charity had to. His great-grandfather Victor started the tradition many years ago with a mysterious person known as Mr. Bale, who promised the family immense wealth if they did this for every addition to the family, and it has been happening ever since. Grace thinks it is interesting and says she is excited to play whatever game they play and be a part of the family. She will draw a card from a box that has many different children's games they could play, including games like Old Maid and chess. Grace opens the box, and she draws the hide and seek card, and everyone's faces in the room drops. Tony tells Grace she has 100 seconds to hide, and she must stay hidden until dawn to win the game, and she thinks it is cute. He also explains it is against the rules to use their security camera system, and once she goes to hide, the rest of the family gather weapons to hunt her with. Alex is heartbroken because he witnessed the game played 30 years ago, and he knows how it ends. He goes off on his own to go find Grace, and he tells her that the game is real and she must stay hidden. She thinks he is joking until Emily shoots the maid on accident. Grace realizes Alex is telling the truth, and she is being hunted. Hide and seek is the one card that results in death, and he tells her it means she is too pure for their family, and he wants to save her life before they kill her. She is upset with him for bringing her into this mess, but he promises he'll make it right. Alex goes to distract the family while Grace tries to escape, but a few of them catch her on the middle floor and start chasing her. Daniel finds her and he has no desire in killing her, but tells her his family doesn't think the same and they will kill her because if they don't, they lose the game and they don't know what will happen to the family curse set with Bale all those years ago. Charity finds him and asks him where she went, and he says he doesn't know, and then the rest of the family arrives in the room as well. Another house servant walks in, and Emily kills this one on accident too. Helen tells them if they don't kill Grace before sunset, they could all die, and she tells them they must break the rules and use the security camera system to find her. Grace is running around, and she finds a shotgun with a ton of shotgun shells and arms herself. She walks into the kitchen, but the butler walks in right behind her, and she has to hide. Meanwhile, Alex sneaks into the control room and unlocks all the doors so Grace can hopefully escape. Grace stands up and points the gun at the butler, but it doesn't work and she gets into a struggle with him and runs out of the room. Daniel and Tony find Alex in the control room, and Tony knocks him out, so he can't get in the way of the game anymore. They take him upstairs and handcuff him to a bed, and Grace sees the whole thing happen as she is out on the ledge of the mansion. She listens to them talk about Alex and how he could jeopardize everything for trying to save her, so she finally believes that Alex is on her side. Grace drops down to the ground and starts sprinting off of the property, and when she sees someone following her with a light, she hides in a barn. It turns out to be one of the younger boys, and he finds her and shoots her in the hand. But then she returns the favor and knocks him out cold. The floor collapses underneath her, and she falls into a pit with a bunch of skeletons. It takes a ton of effort and she gashes her hand on a nail, but she is able to climb out of the hole. She wraps her hand and tries leaving, but Charity sees her on the way out and she goes inside to tell the butler to go and find her. Grace makes her way to a fence and she sees a car coming and tries to ask for help, but the car doesn't stop and speeds past her. She then sees a car coming from the property, so she runs into the woods to hide. The butler is driving and he tells the family he will find her and bring her back. Meanwhile, inside the mansion, the family is frantic because they truly believe if they don't kill Grace by sunset to win the game, they will all die. Some are skeptic, but Tony is adamant it's the truth. Daniel is out looking in the barn with Emily, and he tells her that maybe they all deserve to die for what they are doing. Grace is just as much a human as they are, but Emily doesn't want to risk it. Back outside, the butler finds Grace and they get in a scuffle which Grace wins, and after choking the butler out, she gets in the car and drives away. As she is driving, the car suddenly stops functioning and the butler finds her and shoots her in the stomach and she falls unconscious. The butler relays to the family that he will be back with her shortly, but Grace wakes up and shakes herself loosely enough to cause a bad car wreck. She gets out and thinks she is safe, but Daniel walks up to her and says he is sorry, but he has to bring her back to the mansion. He knocks her out and inside the mansion, Alex begs his mom not to do this and he really loves Grace, but she says one life isn't more important than their whole family. Half an hour later, Grace wakes up tied to a star symbol with the family conducting some sort of ritual. As they are about to kill her, everyone starts puking and Daniel reveals that he poisoned all of them and he frees Grace. Daniel can't decide which side he is actually on, but while this is going on, Alex breaks the bedpost and frees himself. Daniel tries leading Grace out, but Charity pops out and shoots Daniel in the neck. Grace attacks Charity and knocks her out and sprints into another room where she is met by Tony. Grace just keeps going John Wick on them, and she takes him out too. Alex finds Daniel bleeding out on the floor, and Daniel dies in his brother's arms. In the other room, Becky tries shooting Grace with an arrow, but misses, and then Grace attacks her and kills her with a brick. Alex walks in and sees Grace killing his mother. When he realizes Grace will never be with him after this, he grabs her and yells at everyone else that he has her. Helen tells them they must act fast because the sun is about to rise. They hold her down on a table while Alex raises a knife to kill her, but she once again wiggles free and out of their restraints. She grabs the knife and wields herself with it while they look outside to see the sun starting to rise. Once the light reaches the room, they expect to die instantly, but they don't. They think the curse was hogwash, but when Helen tries attacking Grace, she explodes. The rest of the family then starts exploding and Grace is the last one left standing. She tells Alex she wants a divorce, sets the house on fire, and leaves like the badass final girl she is. The movie ends with her having a smoke on the steps while the police arrive on the scene. And that is it for this one, friends. Any other movies or series I should do? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching.